back to another weekly creative vlog where I read, I write, I lose my mind. No, I'm joking. I'm just trying to do the readings, do the writings, and just live a creative life that I find fulfilling to me. It's sort of very introverted at times, but that's okay because that's something I've accepted about myself and that I love about myself. So right here you can see I'm trying to fix the first chapter of my new book on Scrivener, and I'm laughing now because that was like the only time I worked on the book, like physically worked on the book writing wise. Besides that, I'm still doing research, I'm still doing some readings, and I'm still like compiling some notes, but it is what it is. I don't know if you guys go through this every time you write new books, but I do typically. I think this could be to my detriment because in the last few years, all I've been doing is consuming, and reading, without like actually sitting down to write. And of course, you need a balance. Of course, you need to read some books and read books in your genre and whatnot. But I feel like I'm overdoing it at this point and I'm never getting any writing done. So I'm trying to work through that. I failed in this vlog, I'll let you guys know already, but in upcoming vlogs, I really want to start writing my book. And it's a vampire book, and it has a lot of inspiration from like gothic tales and whatnot and the romantic poets. So as you can see here, I'm currently reading poems by Lord Byron, who is a very interesting figure. I urge you to go and watch some videos on him because he was interesting and fascinating, and not only that, he was a friend to Mary Shelley and Percy Shelley, and he even had a romantic tie and connection to Mary's stepsister. And yeah, just such a fascinating character, and I slowly starting to read his poetry, and you know what, his poems are really good. He is really dramatic and sentimental, and I like that shit. Like, as you can see, I'm underlining some words here, and yeah, I might read you some of his poems on a later vlog. Hi guys, so I have a little bit of a short book haul here that I really want to open. I think I remember most of these books, but yeah, let's just open it up because I'm so excited. And as usual, if I don't open it soon, it's gonna sit there for like a few weeks. So. First book here is already so exciting, and it's Mrs. Van Gogh by Caroline Caughey. As most of you know, I've been really into art and paintings and painters, and when I saw this book, I really wanted it. So it's Mrs. Van Gogh by Caroline Caughey, and it says here, in 1890, Vincent van Gogh dies penniless, unknown, a man tortured by his own mind. 11 years later, his work is exhibited in Paris, and his unparalleled talent finally recognized. The tireless efforts of one woman gave the world one of its greatest creative minds. But 28-year-old Johanna van Gogh Bonger, Vincent's sister-in-law and the keeper of his immense collection of paintings, sketches, and letters, has, until now, been written out of history. This beautiful, moving novel finally gives this extraordinary woman a voice. And I just find that so compelling and fascinating. I just want to learn about this amazing Mrs. Van Gogh, especially since I'm still reading Van Gogh's letters to his brother. So I believe it might be the wife of that one brother that supported him throughout his lifetime. So that would be just like such a full circle moment. And yeah, a lot of painters were like supported by their family and the relatives and the community, basically. Truly an interesting topic when it comes to money as a creative person, and the time and support that you get can actually really help you. Lack of those resources could really put a damper on your creativity and your ability to contribute to your creativity. So that's always something I like to think about. Then I finally got my copy of this book. Okay, it's Oppenheimer by it's American Prometheus. basically the biography of Robert Oppenheimer, and it's written by Kay Bird and Martin G. Sherwin. And obviously there was a movie that came out by Christopher Nolan starring Cillian Murphy, which was fantastic. But yeah, I've always wanted to read this biography, so I finally got a copy of it. I got Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I'm currently finishing Everything I Know About Love and kind of really enjoying it. So I wanted to read her fiction book that came out, I think, not too long ago. I think it came out this year. Apparently this is a really good book, as in like the main character, which is a man, is written by a woman, and everyone is like going bananas about this book so far. So I think this is going to be a fun ride, and it's already blurbed by a lot of good authors such as Taylor Jenkins Reid and Elizabeth Gilbert. And I love Elizabeth Gilbert. I've seen her live and I've read a lot of her books. So yeah, I just feel like this is going to be a good book to read, maybe in the spring or summertime. Then I got Happy Place by Emily Henry because I didn't want to buy the hardcover. I was waiting for the paperback, and I read 2 of her other books in the last 2 years, so I have to still read People We Meet on Vacation, and then I want to read Happy Place. Apparently Happy Place is more like a friendship type of couple thing where like 2 people of a friend group get together and then things happen. So I think this is going to be a perfect summer read, so I'm just going to hold on to it until summertime. And yeah, I've just been wanting some more summer reads, preparing my arsenal for the summertime. Then I picked this book up for a book club that I'm part of, and it's called Slow Productivity: The Lost Art of Accomplishment Without Burnout by Cal Newport. I've only heard good things about Cal Newport books, and I feel like with this day and age, this book is more important than ever. And it just came out actually, and I just love the nature, the scenery, the forest, the trees. Basically that's how you hook me in, because that's what I love. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this and discuss it with the people from the book club. I could already see it's blurred by Gretchen Rubin. It's blurred by Ali Abdaal as well, which is very interesting. So yeah, that's another book that I want to read, is Ali Abdaal's Feel Good Productivity book, his book that came out. But I'm going to start with this one first, and then if I like this, maybe I'm going to pick up Ali Abdaal's book next, because I've been watching his YouTube channel for a few years now, and it's really helped me a lot in my life. So yeah, these were the 5 books. Such a like different collection, array of books, honestly. But you guys know I love to read from every genre, and I'm just so excited to pick these books up in the next few weeks to months. As I said earlier, I am currently working on compiling my notes, going through the notes that I wrote when I originally got the story idea of my book. And this book is also a vampire kind of book, but it's not really about vampires, if you know my drill. It's not like Twilight, or it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. I think like the only book that could possibly be similar to it in some ways is that book by what's her name, Anne Rice. But I haven't read her Interview with the Vampire book because I'm afraid that I read it and gather too much inspiration from it. So a book that I would liken my book to would probably be more like The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova, which I have not finished reading. I've tried to read this book like 10 million times. I pick it up every month and I abandon it every month. I've only read 100 pages. And I'm not trying to say that my book is boring, because obviously I'm saying I'm likening it to that, but it's more like the history aspect that I'm likening it to. So I definitely want to, at some point, film a vlog of me reading The Historian, so that I can keep myself accountable and actually finish reading The Historian. I love my desk setup because you could see just Lord Byron being pensive right there, and it's just motivation for every time I work on this book. And yeah, I am currently compiling everything in a small notebook, a small little black notebook that I'm carrying everywhere. But unfortunately, there's many unanswered questions and not that many solutions to my book. And I think that's what's making me hesitant to actively start writing it. Like, I've only have one chapter in, around 2,000 words, and I just don't know where to go from there. Like, I know where to go from there, but I don't know where to go from there. And that, I think that's the struggle with character focused novels and novels that are very quiet, even though there's like a major dramatic undertone or theme to it. So I think that's why I like gothic novels as well, because the horror is there, but it's not like gory or like in your face, really. I mean, unless you're talking about The Monk, but The Monk has this like progression towards that end scene. But I'm talking about like, like just other gothic novels like Jane Eyre and whatnot. And I'm trying to write in that fashion, but I find it really difficult. And you know what? That's why I do a lot of research and I do a lot of writing, because every new book that I start is completely and utterly different from the previous book. So I have to put myself in the headspace, I have to do my research, I have to be able to picture it, feel it, embrace that atmosphere that I want to create. And it's really, really freaking hard, especially since I haven't been committed to a singular project in the last few years. So I've been bouncing all over the place, as you guys know, with the French Riviera book. So what I told myself this time around is that I'll focus on this one, I'll focus on this book, get it done, and then I can dedicate more of my time and energy to French Riviera again. So here's to hoping, here's to many more days of plotting and trying to figure things out, and then I can start writing with confidence, or even with no confidence, and just hoping that I am strong enough to see this project through and to go back and edit and, find little pockets of wisdom and inspiration here and there. But I don't count on that. I just know that like the only way that it's gonna get done is by me sitting down and actually starting and writing, and getting rid of all those like hesitation and all those little plot holes, I guess. And yes, as you can see, I am still reading The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I've been reading this since it came out, but I'm almost at this point halfway through, and it's so good. And I just feel like I don't want to be finished with it. And also, there's another motivation as to why I don't want to finish this book, is because I plan on like filming a video on the second channel about creativity. So I guess I'm not afraid, but like I think there's a new term, or there's this thing that correlates between being procrastinating on something with the fear of doing it, so it like heightens the procrastination. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but the more I want to do something, the less I tend to do it, which is crazy. You would think that it's the opposite. So the number one thing I want to do every day is writing. And what's the number one thing I don't do every day? Also writing. Same goes with videos. I'm super excited to film, and that's why sometimes I need to do it even when it's like not perfect and not ready, because or else I'll always be stuck in this limbo.
was all black hair and reaching hands, and also white in her throat. I think new Preston would not be pleased with her being late. She hurriedly turned around and her sweater sleeves, and her feet into her boots. She hesitated at the door, fingers hovering over the iron knob. Now that she had seen the Fairy King in daylight, Harold's survival tactics could not be entirely trusted. She slipped 2 of the pink pills in her mouth and swallowed them dry. Then Effie wrenched the door open and ran, skidding breathlessly up the path toward Hugh. By the time she arrived, she was panting, her skin buzzing with adrenaline. She'd seen no flashes of damp hair in the gaps between trees. As she passed the front of the house, she looked in the driveway of the youngest car, but bless.
I read A Study in Drowning yesterday by Eva Reed. It was my first ever read novel. I will say one thing. I had such high expectation. So any discrepancy between my enjoyment and my expectation is really truly on me, because I know that if I had just picked this up, not having known what it's about and not having like the hype, I would have loved it 110% more than I did when I read it yesterday. But nevertheless, it was so good. I did tab a lot, so I always know that I like something when I tab a lot from it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, this was very lyrical. This was very beautiful. This combines like real topics such as like authorship and, you know, women's place in academia, but through this like fairy tale traumatic fairy king lens. And I really highly recommend it if you like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, or if you like The Starless Sea. I really believe that you will enjoy this book. It's a book about books, it's a book about stories, it's a book about the power that we give to story and the power that we give to the truth and the power that we give to voices, basically. Really enjoyed it. I really love the characters. I am definitely going to read everything that Eva Reed publishes. I will share one passage that I really loved, and it's towards the end, but it's not a spoiler. It says here, "The truth was very costly at times. How terrible to navigate the world without a story to comfort you." And yeah, if you like that, then definitely pick this book up, because this book really delves deep into storytelling and the power of storytelling, as well as, you know, uncovering between the lines of the stories that we're told and why are we told certain stories and not other stories, and what do stories hold in their power, basically. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep on repeating myself. Definitely go pick it up. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read her next book that's coming out in the summer. I pre-order it, and it's called Lady Macbeth. I'll put a picture here. That's the one. Macbeth is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so I know that I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'm going to like also go and pick up her backlist. But generally, I really do enjoy the genre of books that are kind of like fantastical, but also have to do with storytelling a lot. I think I might read more of those books. So if you have any recommendations, put them down below. If you're gonna recommend Erin Morgenstern, I already did that. I already read her books and I already met her. So any other book that is in the similar genre of this book and of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue or Erin Morgenstern's book, let me know, and maybe I'll film a future video recommending more books of that genre if I get to read some more in the coming year. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you're reading, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!